Beyond singing, Jungkook's stage presence has become the focal point of many performances. American award shows, music festivals, and late-night television appearances have repeatedly highlighted his ability to dominate the stage without needing flashy gimmicks. His control over both the subtle and explosive moments of a performance demonstrates a maturity far beyond his years. This is where American audiences feel the shock. Jungkook does not seem like a newcomer. He feels like someone born to stand at the very center of global pop culture. In the United States, numbers matter. Billboard charts, streaming statistics, and radio play often determine the trajectory of an artist's career. Jungkook has not only entered these spaces, he has redefined them. His solo singles have consistently topped Billboard's Hot 100 and global charts, sometimes debuting at number 1, an achievement most American artists can only dream of. His collaborations with US producers and singers have further amplified his reach, signaling that the industry itself recognizes his market power. The shock for many in the US music business comes from how seamlessly Jungkook has navigated this competitive space. It is one thing to have a dedicated fanbase, but quite another to maintain mainstream appeal across demographics. Jungkook has accomplished both. His songs are streamed by millions of BTS fans worldwide, but they also find traction with casual listeners who discover him through playlists or radio exposure. This dual success makes him not just a niche figure, but a true household name. Another reason why Jungkook's rise feels so monumental in America is the visual element. His role as a global ambassador for Calvin Klein introduced him to audiences far beyond the music world. Billboard advertisements in New York City, campaigns across Los Angeles, and global fashion editorials positioned him not just as a singer, but as a face of global style. For the US, where music and fashion often go hand in hand, Jungkook's ability to embody both has been a powerful combination. The imagery of Jungkook in Calvin Klein campaigns, plastered across Times Square, became symbolic of his expanding influence. Suddenly, American passers-by who might not know a BTS song were confronted with his image, sparking curiosity and conversation. In the American entertainment landscape, where visibility often equates to power, Jungkook has become unavoidable. His presence is no longer tied only to K-pop. He has carved out a unique space in global pop culture itself. The US media, notoriously critical of foreign acts, has been compelled to take Jungkook seriously. Major outlets like Rolling Stone, Billboard, and Variety have covered his solo achievements, often highlighting the shock factor of his success. Industry insiders, from producers to label executives, recognize that Jungkook represents something unprecedented. An Asian artist not only competing, but leading in a market historically dominated by Western acts. This shift has forced American labels to rethink strategies. Collaborations with Jungkook are now seen as highly valuable, and speculation around his future projects often fuels media headlines. The fascination lies in the unknown. What boundaries will he break next? For an industry built on predictability and formulas, Jungkook represents the unpredictable variable that changes the rules of the game. While much of this discussion revolves around achievements, numbers, and industry reactions, it is important not to overlook the emotional element. Jungkook connects deeply with fans because he projects sincerity. In interviews, he often downplays his success, attributing it to hard work and fan support rather than personal genius. This humility resonates strongly in a US music industry often criticized for arrogance and detachment. Audiences are not simply consuming Jungkook's music, they are drawn to his story. the image of a young boy from Busan who dreamed of becoming a singer and eventually shocked America by becoming one of its leading stars is inherently powerful. It evokes emotions of inspiration, pride, and admiration, even among those who are not fans of BTS. The fact that Jungkook has taken center stage in the US music industry does not merely signify his personal achievement. It suggests a broader transformation. The gates that once kept non-Western artists on the margins are now wide open, and Jungkook stands at the front, proving that the American market can no longer ignore global talent. The shockwaves of his success will be felt for years to come. Record labels may pursue more international collaborations, award shows may re-examine their global reach, and young artists worldwide may find encouragement in Jungkook's journey. For America, this moment is both a revelation and a challenge. If Jungkook can succeed at this level, then the definition of what makes a US pop star has fundamentally changed. For American executives, this poses a question. If Jungkook can enter this competitive arena and succeed, what does that mean for the future of their artists? The answer may lie in adapting to a more globalized model of music promotion, one that acknowledges that the biggest stars of the future may not come from Los Angeles or New York, but from Seoul or anywhere in the world. If Billboard is the battlefield, then streaming platforms are the weapons Jungkook wields most effectively. Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube have all witnessed his dominance. Within hours of release, his songs often break records for the fastest to reach certain streaming milestones. 7 became the fastest song in Spotify history to surpass 1 billion streams, cementing his position as a digital powerhouse. Streaming success is particularly critical in the US, where playlists often shape listening habits. Jungkook's ability to land on major playlists like Today's Top Hits not only increases exposure, but also positions him alongside America's biggest names. Listeners scrolling through their daily mixes are as likely to encounter Jungkook as they are Post Malone or Olivia Rodrigo. This level of integration demonstrates that he is not just a niche act appealing to one fan base, but a mainstream artist with universal appeal. YouTube, too, has become a tool of shock and surprise. His music videos consistently rack up tens of millions of views within hours, rivaling the biggest American releases. The visual appeal of his performances adds an extra layer, transforming each release into an event that dominates online discourse. For American fans accustomed to homegrown artists leading these platforms, Jungkook's rise represents a dramatic reordering of global visibility. As Jungkook continues to dominate charts, comparisons with US stars have become inevitable. Some analysts have positioned him as a rival to artists like Justin Bieber, given their similar trajectories as young stars with massive fan bases. Others have noted his stage charisma and vocal delivery align more closely with the versatility of Bruno Mars or the emotional impact of The Weeknd. Yet the truth is that Jungkook does not perfectly align with any American artist. He exists as a hybrid, a product of the K-pop system, but also a global star shaped by Western influences. This uniqueness makes direct comparisons difficult, and perhaps that is part of the shock. He does not fit into the existing categories of US pop, which means he is redefining them. For fans, this creates an exciting dynamic. Rather than seeing Jungkook as the Korean equivalent of X, audiences are beginning to see him as his own benchmark. He is not just competing with US artists, he is setting new standards by which they may soon be measured. Another dimension to Jungkook's rise in the US industry has been his collaborations with American artists. 7 with Latto was only the beginning. Working with globally recognized producers and songwriters has allowed him to expand his sound while also integrating into the US scene more naturally. These collaborations are not mere gimmicks, but strategic moves that reinforce his mainstream credibility. The shock factor comes from how seamlessly these collaborations work. Often, when foreign artists team up with American stars, the songs feel forced or opportunistic. In Jungkook's case, however, the music flows naturally, with his vocals blending effortlessly into the sonic landscape of US pop. This suggests that his presence is not an intrusion, but an expansion of what pop music can be. Behind closed doors, the American industry both admires and fears Jungkook's rise. On one hand, executives see opportunity. Partnering with him guarantees exposure to a massive global audience, and his marketability as both a singer and style icon is undeniable. On the other hand, his dominance challenges the traditional structures of American music. If Jungkook can thrive without relying heavily on US-based labels, managers, and media systems, then their grip on global music might be loosening. This tension explains why discussions around Jungkook in US media often carry undertones of astonishment. Writers describe his achievements as historic, record-breaking, or unprecedented. These words reflect more than admiration. They reveal a sense of unease. America is watching a foreign artist succeed at the very highest level of its music industry, and the usual playbook for control does not apply. At the heart of this story, however, are the fans. Jungkook's global fanbase has proven instrumental in his US success. Through organized streaming, voting, and online promotion, they ensure that his presence is constantly felt. American fans in particular have played a crucial role in bridging the gap between his Korean roots and US exposure. What surprises industry veterans is the level of coordination and dedication fans demonstrate. Traditional marketing campaigns pale in comparison to the energy that fans bring. For Jungkook, this means that each release becomes not just a song, but a cultural moment, amplified by millions of people working in unison. The emotional connection fans feel to his journey ensures that his dominance is not a passing phase, but a sustained movement. Ultimately, Jungkook's chart domination represents more than just numbers. It is symbolic of a cultural shift in which American music is no longer the sole driver of global trends. Instead, the US sense is now part of a broader conversation where international artists can not only participate, but lead. For America, the shock lies in realizing that the definition of success is no longer confined to domestic talent. Jungkook has proven that excellence can come from anywhere, and when it does, it has the power to shake the very foundations of the US music industry. As Jungkook continues to release new projects, compete with US giants, and reshape industry norms, the question is no longer whether he belongs in America's spotlight. The real question is how long America can hold on to him before he becomes something even larger. A figure who transcends national industries and redefines global pop altogether.